Hey everybody, Dr. Stephen here. Wow, what a week we've had, huh? There's almost not words for it, just so remarkable in so many ways and difficult. Our church, probably like many of yours, had online services only this weekend. And our senior pastor, Brady Boyd, here at New Life Church in Colorado Springs, shared just a wonderful message from Exodus, the children of Israel walking in the wilderness, and talked about manna and God's provision. And more than anything, he talked about how even in the midst of the wilderness, God commanded them on the seventh day to rest and take up the food for the sixth and the seventh day from the manna that was on the ground every morning. And he talked about the fact that even in the midst of crisis, even in the midst of the wilderness, God still wanted his people to take a moment and rest, take a day off, so to speak, and to honor the Sabbath. And what a great message it was. So I'm here in my study. We're hunkered down. My wife, Linda, as I think you might remember, is a public school teacher, so she has the next 2 weeks off. Part of that would have been spring break anyways. And with the possibility of a third week, we just don't know what that'll look like. But we're fine. We're here in our home in Colorado Springs. We have plenty of food. We did some planning well ahead of time, and she's real organized in that way. So we got enough food and enough toilet paper, but we didn't go crazy or anything. And what can I say? I'm in my study here. As you've seen it before, I got a lot of books. It's warm. I'm fine. This is a good place for me, a happy place for me, quite frankly. But I know that isn't the same for lots of people in different circumstances and situations, especially those of you that your kids are home and you weren't planning on that, and there's a lot of other stresses with childcare. And so know that, boy, I'm praying for each one of you guys, and that God will just somehow show us all his faithfulness through this whole thing, that we can, like that old hymn, say, "It is well with my soul." So this week's going to be really easy. Okay, there's a video interview that I did about 1.5 years ago with a dear friend of mine, Pastor Tom Stipe from Denver, Colorado. Pastor Tom was my boss. He's the guy who hired me in 1982 when I was a young kid, just turning 25, and I moved from Los Angeles, the big church I was on staff at there, to Tom's church, which was also a growing church, a big church, and that's when I moved into the Vineyard movement. Tom was actually one of the original musicians and original pastors from the Jesus movement. He helped start Maranatha Music, and he's just had such an influence over the years to the younger generations. And now Tom's getting near the end of his ministry, and he's aging. And so I sat down with Tom and edited this up. It's just some of his thoughts. And you know, I understand that not all of it will be particularly relevant to all of you, but I think we can learn from our fathers in the faith and our mothers in the faith. And so I just want you to watch the video and then respond to the question. And I think it'll be an enjoyable time. As far as what we're doing, you know, continue to write the weekly journals, the one-page entries. On the other hand, several of you have contacted me because of the coronavirus lockdown. You're not able to put the hours in. Don't worry about that at all. Okay, let's just say right up front, there's not going to be any penalty for that. We'll do our best. We'll sludge through the next number of weeks, whatever it is. We're all hoping it's 2-3 weeks, maybe 4, you know, who knows. But we'll sort through all that. You guys are all going to do great in the class. So I'll see you on the discussion thread, and we'll have a good week from the warm confines of our own homes, I suppose. God bless you guys.